This is Clive Fisher welcoming you along to Screen Sports' conclusion of the 1992 Swedish Elite League Speedway action. There we see the scores on the board after 13 rounds, and Mariestad top of the pack and already crowned as Elite League champions of 1992 on 24 points. Nearest rivals Kumla on 20, and third place goes to Gotland on 16, with Västervik back in fourth place on 15. And it's the top two, Mariestad and Kumla, that we feature in round number 14. Kumla, the home club. Mariestad just making the short trip down the road. 8 miles, 8 Swedish miles, that is, in difference between the two clubs. Let's have a look at the two lineups. For Kumla, Henrik Gustafsson rides at 1. Bo Peterson, their import from Denmark, rides at 2. The current Swedish Speedway champion, John Cook, at 3. Magnus Oskarsson, 4. Lars Gunnestad, the other import, at 4, 5 should I say, and the rest of the team, as you see in the caption there. Mariestad, they line up with Calvin Tatum at 1, Mikael Carlson at 2, Lars Hammarberg coming in for his first ride for 5 years, replacing the injured Nicholas Carlson. Christer Olen also in there at number 4, Peter Carlson 5, Nicholas Klingberg moving up to 6 to replace the injured Rick Miller, who's out with a broken shoulder. So injuries affecting Mariestad. They've only lost 1 match in this Elite League series, and it's all action now as we go down to trackside and join the 2 sets of riders as they come up to the line for heat number 1. The scene then set in Kumla as Henrik Gustafsson and Bo Peterson going to gates 1 and 3, and Calvin Tatum and Mikael Carlson for Mariestad go into gates 2 and 4. 3 points for a win, 2 for coming second, 1 for coming third in this game. Clutch starts, fixed gears, up to about 60 and 70 miles an hour in this very, very fast Kumla circuit. 375-metre circuit, which in 4 days' time will, of course, feature that World Team Cup final. And the tapes rise on this final meeting here in the Swedish Elite League, challenging Calvin Tatum. Has got the drop, and coming round to join him as he got the speed is Mikael Carlson. Bo Peterson back in third, and Gustafsson in fourth position at this moment for Kumla, which is not good news indeed. Tatum leads. Second place, Mikael Carlson, having a fabulous season for Mariestad. What a prospect he's likely to be in the next couple of years, gaining the experience under the wings and the shadows of Calvin Tatum, and of course the American Rick Miller at Mariestad. And with 2 laps gone in heat number 1, it's looking pretty good for him at the moment. And for Kumla, well, the crowd at the moment very, very quiet, with Henrik Gustafsson dropped back in fourth position, and certainly Henke knows every inch of this Kumla circuit. But it's the Mariestad boys who have got the bit between their teeth at the moment as we enter the final lap of heat number 1. Tatum white, Mikael Carlson yellow and black. Looking set now for a maximum heat advantage, which will be 5 to them and 1 to Kumla. Round the final 2 bends and up to take the win. It's Mikael Carlson that just gets there. His partner, his team partner, that is, Calvin Tatum, in second place. And for Kumla, Bo Peterson gets a solitary point. So what a start to the current league champions. Mariestad getting a 5-1 heat advantage in the opening race, heat number 1. So the news that Mariestad have taken the crown came last week when they won their outstanding fixture against Molilla. So congratulations to everybody at Mariestad on taking that first ever Elite League title. I'm sure they'll have some fun and games and a few beers, no doubt, in Mariestad to celebrate that one. We move on to heat number 2. We see John Cook ride in red. His partner is Magnus Oskarsson in the blue. Lars Hammarberg coming in white, and Christer Rolen rides in yellow and black. Well, Lars Hammarberg coming in for the injuries sustained to Nicholas Carlson. We wish you a speedy recovery, Nicholas. And it's fair to say Mariestad a little bit down on strength this evening at Kumla. But never mind, off to a great start in heat number 1. Let's see what happens now around that first 2 bends. And it's a home pairing of John Cook and Magnus Oskarsson who's got there. Cook in red, Magnus Oskarsson in blue. Now is Cook going to shepherd his partner home? Christer Rolen in yellow and black coming around the outside of Magnus Oskarsson. Those two very locked together. Cook in front, still Oskarsson in second place, but now Rolen, whoa, going out in the dirt, getting the traction, getting those wheels in line, and drives past Magnus Oskarsson to get second place. Good manoeuvre there by Christer Rolen. Now, can he make up any ground whatsoever on John Cook? Cook still leading. Oskarsson in third, and sandwiched between them is Christer Rolen from Mariestad. So it looks as though Kumla now are going to narrow the gap if it stays this way for 1 more lap. Cook with a leg out, getting the wheels in line and all the traction down on those 2 tyres to make sure he gets the maximum amount of grip. Recently, of course, crowned that Swedish Speedway champion. That was in Mariestad at 33 years of age, still doing the biz. It's Cook who gets there. Second place, Christer Rolen. Third place goes to Magnus Oskarsson. So a 4-2 heat advantage to Kumla, which narrows the gap. It's 5 to Kumla, 7 to Mariestad. And really it was John Cook's race, all from the second bend. The scrap really was for second and third place between Christer Rolén and Magnus Oskarsson. We're taking a look at the manoeuvre which brought the 2 points to Christer Rolén. There you see him winding on that throttle, going out into the dirt. At that stage, Cook was trying to block the manoeuvre, but he got his wheels in line there, got the traction. Oskarsson still gripping for nothing, and Rolén going down the back straight, and there just leaning over on Oskarsson. And from that moment onwards, really the 2 points were his for the taking. It was a question whether he could make up ground on John Cook. Heat number 3 of this local derby between Kumla and Mariestad. Lars Gunnestad and Stefan Dano for the home pairing. Gunnestad red, Stefan Dano in blue. And for the opposition, Peter Karlsson, of course, the former Swedish Speedway champion. 89, he took the crown in Eskilstuna, and 91 again in Vetlanda. His partner will be Nicholas Klingberg, who's in yellow and black. 5 plays 7 in Mariestad's favour at this moment in time. And this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is heat number 3. At this moment, Mariestad have just dropped 1 league match in the 13 rounds. That was away at Gotland by the narrowest of margins, 2 points, 46 to 44. And this is their final one, heat number 4, or round 14. Already crowned champions. Doesn't really matter what happens, but they certainly want to win this one, especially at Kumla. And it's the first one to show is Lars Gunnestad, but coming around the outside arm is Peter Karlsson. Peter Karlsson, the captain of Mariestad, has now got the drop on Lars Gunnestad. Gunnestad goes outside, tries to drive around Peter Karlsson, who's having a really good season in 1992, not only with Mariestad, but also with Wolverhampton in England. So Karlsson leads, Gunnestad second. Gunnestad likes the outside line, likes to get the drop, but Karlsson's really riding just where he wants to be at the moment. Third place is Stefan Dano, so the heat is shared at the moment. And is there anything left for Lars Gunnestad, the all-action, the all-exciting rider from Norway? We saw him on Screen Sport in the Scandinavian final when he just missed the chance to go through to the Alps semis. And then later in our series, we saw him in Norway's colours in the World Team Cup quarter-final against Poland and Hungary and Germany. But round the final bends of heat number 3, and it's plain sailing for Peter Karlsson. He really looks smooth and rich as he takes the 3 points in heat number 3. Second place goes to Lars Gunnestad, and Stefan Dano back in third position. So 3 points to Kumla, 3 to Mariestad. It's now Kumla on 8 and Mariestad on 10, and Peter Karlsson gets the 3 points, is winner of heat number 3. Well, the two clubs just 8 Swedish miles apart on the maps, but I can tell you that Swedish miles are a lot bigger than English miles, so don't think you're going to get there in about 15 minutes, because it certainly will take a lot longer than that. Heat number 4, which is the reserves ride. Tommy Lindgren rides in red, Mikael Hägglund rides in blue, Thomas Olsson rides in white, Mikael Linder rides in yellow and black. That's where they'll line up. 4, Martin Linder, so I say, rides in yellow and black. That's where they'll line up for heat number 4. With Mariestad on 10, Kumla on 8. So just 2 points between the two sides. And this is the reserve outing, as we say. We see them out again in race number 7 and again in race number 12. It's a different formula to what we have in England, but it certainly works very, very well in Sweden. And crowds up by some 20% in 1992, which is certainly good news for Svimo. And with this venue here, 375 Market Circuit at Kumla, hosting the World Team Cup final in 4 days, they'll be very pleased with that. And they go into that first turn, and it's the yellow and black of Martin Lind. Oh, down he comes. Seemed to lock up there, just go straight across the track. And Martin Linder down in some discomfort. And we just keep our fingers crossed. He seemed to have the drop going into the first turn, and they just failed to straighten up. We'll try and pick it up from this camera position. Goes into that first turn in the lead. And for this moment onwards, whether he shed a train or what, just picks up, can't bring that machine down, and bails out at the last minute, which is the wise thing to do. But he's been excluded from the restart of heat number 4, which is not surprising, but sad to say anyway at Speedway. Actually, let's just hope he's okay to continue. But that's what Speedway bikes are all about. There's no brakes on these machines for new listeners and to new viewers. The Screen Sport is all action, all full throttle around this 375-metre circuit at Kumla. Not for the faint-hearted is Speedway. So the restart of heat number 4, the excluded Martin Linder in yellow back, so 3 riders only. Liga in red, Haglund in blue, and Thomas Olsen, the lone rider from Mariestad, in white. The restart of heat 4. Into that bend, and the first one to show is yet again in white, which is Thomas Olsen, but coming around the outside of him is Tommy Liga, and he's done it, and brought his partner through as well, Mikael Haglund. And the last time we saw Kumla in action, these two are very, very potent reserves, and it's one of the reasons they're currently lying in second place in the table. Having won the title in the past 2 seasons, 1991, relinquished that crown last week when Mariestad won at Molilla. But they're certainly doing very nicely here in heat number 4. Thomas Olsen in third place, but not at this moment. At this time, challenging for the positions. It looks plain sailing for a maximum from Kumla, which will put them in front for the first time. Still it is. Lindgren on the inside. On the outside in blue is Haglund, looking very good indeed, it's fair to say, but Lindgren it was who got into the front on the second turn. But round the final 2 bends of heat number 4, coming round in blue to take the win, it's Mikael Haglund that gets here, comes up, shakes his hand to the crowd. Tommy Lindgren in third place, 5-1 to Kumla. They now take the lead, 13 points to Kumla and 11 points to Mariestad, so Kumla take the lead. But join us more from Kumla after the break. Back to Kumla, time fish of the rounds for this final Swedish Elite League action. Meeting, should I say, round 14, Kumla versus Mariestad. We move on to heat number 5, which sees Lars Gunnestad there in red, of course, from Norway. He rides as one of the 2 imported riders in Kumla's team, the other one being Bo Peterson from Denmark. His partner in blue is Stefan Dano. And for Mariestad, Lars Hammarberg coming in for his first meeting in 5 years to replace the injured Niklas Karlsson. And we also send our best wishes to Rick Miller, who's suffering sidelines at the moment with shoulder damage. We wish you a speedy recovery, Rick, and no doubt you'll be joining in the festivities here in Mariestad, collecting their first Elite League title in the club's history. And Christopher Olen rides in yellow and black. That's the lineup for heat number 5. 13 plays 11 in Kumla's favour. The tapes rise on this one, and Roland gets a good start from gate 2, but coming up underneath him is Stefan Dano in blue. Good ride from Stefan Dano coming around the outside. It's Lars Gunnestad as well. So this one is a good one for Kumla. Great ride from Stefan Dano, forced his way underneath the very fast starting Christopher Roland, and then coming around the back straight to join him was Lars Gunnestad. So great manoeuvre by the 2 home riders. Stefan Dano looks over his shoulder to see that his team partner is with him. And Chris Erlen back at this moment in time in third position, which is bad news for Mariestad. But all of a sudden, since the first couple of races, Kumla now beginning to get the old wheels and the old adrenaline flowing, and now they could build up a 6-point lead if it stays this way. Stefan Dano blue, Lars Gunnestad red as we enter the final lap of heat number 5. Roland back in third place, but not really making a serious challenge at this moment in time. So the home riders looking set for a maximum heat advantage. Stefan Dano riding very well in England too with Eastbourne, comes up to take the win. Second place his team partner Lars Gunnestad, and Chris Roland happy to be content with 1 point for finishing third. So a 5-1 to Kumla in heat number 5. 18 now plays 12 in Kumla's favour, so 6 points between the two sides. Heat number 6, John Cook rides in red, Magnus Oskarsson rides in blue for Kumla, Calvin Tatum rides in white, and Mikael Karlsson rides in yellow and black. Well, Tatum and Karlsson got a 5-1 advantage for Mariestad in the opening race, heat number 1, and it certainly would be just what the doctor ordered for Mariestad to get back into the thick of things after taking that early lead. They've been now pegged back, 18 to Kumla, 12 now to Mariestad. So heat number 6, very, very important indeed for Mariestad's cause. There we see Tatum in gate number 4. Of course, he'll be one of the riders on show tonight who'll be taking part in that World Team Cup final representing England in 4 days' time here at Kumla on this 375-metre circuit. Up with the tapes on heat number 6, and into that turn they speed, and first one there is blue. Magnus Oskarsson coming round him is Calvin Tatum and Mikael Karlsson as well. Tatum was the first one, and Mikael Karlsson, not to be outdone, comes through to join him. So Tatum in white looks over his shoulder, sees that his partner's with him. And Calvin's told me on many occasions that Mikael Karlsson has been the revelation at Mariestad this year. And we can see what you mean, Calvin. He's been tremendous for him, and what a good pairing this has been for them. Tatum leads. Mikael Karlsson back in second place. 2 laps gone of heat number 6. A long way back in third position is Magnus Oskarsson, and John Cook tailed off in 4th place after winning his first ride in heat 2. That's a bit of a shock for Kumla fans, but it's all sailing for Mariestad in this one to narrow the gap, so to speak, with 1 more lap to go in here in heat 6. Tatum leads. Mikael Karlsson must be one of the good prospects, or greatest prospects at the moment, to be coming out of Sweden. Tatum round the final 2 bends, comes up then to take his win. Tatum who gets there. Second place is Mikael Karlsson. Third place goes to Magnus Oskarsson. So a 5-1 heat advantage to Mariestad, reduces the arrears. It's now Kumla on 19, Mariestad at 17, and Kelvin Tatum the winner of heat 6. Heat number 7 sees 3 riders only, with Martin Linder damaging his hand in heat number 4, so we're sorry to hear that. We do hope it's not too serious. So no rider in yellow and black, 3 riders only. Tommy Lindgren red, Mikael Haglund in blue, both for Kumla, and Thomas Olsson is in white for Mariestad. This is heat 7. So they made it to the first turn, and yet again the home pairing has got there. Tommy Lindgren, and coming around the outside is Thomas Olsson, round Mikael Haglund, but Haglund just holding bay, but Olsson's not finished. Olsson in white on the outside, Haglund on the inside. Tommy Lindgren trying to slow down the race to get his partner through. Tommy Lindgren, who of course is a bit of an old campaigner on the ice in Screen Sports coverage of that particular sport during the winter months. Haglund in blue, trying to hold Thomas Olsson at bay, which is going to be his prime target in this one. Just 2 points between the 2 sides before this race, and if they can keep it this way, 1 and 2 for red and blue, then the 6-point advantage will be back in Kumla's favour. Tommy Lindgren leads. Mikael Haglund back in second place, and Thomas Olsson failing to make up any more challenge in this particular race. So Lindgren looking pretty set for 3 points. And this home pairing yet again doing remarkably well for Kumla. And in any sport, whether it's speedway or what, reserves are very essential. And it's Lindgren who comes out to get the win. Haglund in second place. So they get a 5-1. It's now 24 to Kumla and 18 to Mariestad, as Tommy Lindgren gets a win in heat number 7. Heat number 8 sees Henrik Gustafsson ride in red, a last place first time out. Bo Peterson is partner in blue for Mariestad. Peter Karlsson, the captain of Mariestad, rides in white, and Nicholas Klingberg in yellow and black. So the 2 captains meet in this one. Gustafsson, the captain of Kumla, Karlsson, the captain of Mariestad. And of course, Gustafsson there in red, another rider who will have his one eye on the World Team Cup final. He represents Sweden in 4 days' time at this venue, and could be a trump card in Sweden's cause to try and win that trophy. So the starting marshal calling him into the line. Henrik Gustafsson made a very good appearance in the World Individual Final, securing joint 4th place with Denmark's Tommy Knudsen on 9 points. Well, this is heat number 8 with 24 playing 18 in Kumla's favour, and they go into that first turn, and the first one to show is Bo Peterson in blue. Peterson leads in blue for Kumla. Bo Peterson's got them, but just coming on the outside of it is Peter Karlsson. Peter Karlsson forces his way to the front from the outside. Trying to come through to join him now is Nicholas Klingberg. So Karlsson leads. Bo Peterson second, and now Gustafsson coming underneath Klingberg. Gustafsson is now through to join his partner for the minor places. Let's just look at Klingberg. He's not done yet. Great ride from Peter Karlsson, the Opartek sponsored rider. Tremendous ride from him. Second place now, Gustafsson forced his way from 4th to 2nd. Has he got anything left to try and put a challenge on Peter Karlsson? Great ride from Henke. Now he's got Peter Karlsson in his sights. Can he mount a challenge? We're on the final lap of heat number 8. Karlsson leads, Gustafsson second. I think this is going to be a bit of a brave attempt from Gustafsson, but can he do it? The final 2 bends of a very, very good race here at Kumla, but it's going to be Karlsson who gets his 2nd win of the night. Peter Karlsson gets there. 2nd place, Henrik Gustafsson, and in 3rd place, Bo Peterson. So Kumla, after 8 races on 27. Gustafsson, just 2 points, and Peterson 2. John Cook on 3, Magnus Oskarsson 2, Gunnestad and Stefan Dano on 4, and 2 reserves doing very well. Both 5 apiece for Lindgren and Hagland. Kumla on 27. Mariestad on 21, Tatum 5, Nico Carlson 5, Hammerberg failed to score. Christopher Allen starting well on 3, Peter Carlson so far unbeaten and looking very, very classy this evening on 6, Niklas Klimberg 0, Thomas Olsen 2. So join us for more Swedish Elite League Speedway action from Kumla after the break. Welcoming you back to Kumla in Sweden for continued action in this final round of the Swedish Elite League between Kumla and Mariestad. 27-21 in Kumla's favour at this moment in time, 6 points between the two sides. No tactical substitutes in Heat 9, there's no need to, because they've got their best pairing out, which is Calvin Tatum in white, there we see him, and his partner Mikael Karlsson in yellow-black. 2-5-1 heat advantages to this pairing so far this evening. They're up against Lars Gunnestad in red and Stefan Dano in blue. This promises to be quite a good race because all these 4 riders are mixing it very, very well this evening. But watch for Tatum in white, very fast starting tonight. Mikael Karlsson also a very good trump card for Mariestad. This is heat number 9 of the Swedish Elite League Speedway action. As always, the hotshot cameras of Screen Sport showing the best possible speedway action, whether it's on ice or whether it's on shale. And we've got more to come in our series here on Screen Sport with the Gold Cup final in England, the England versus USA Test match on the BLRC from Bradford. So I've got the tapes on heat number 9, and into that first bend they drive. And the first one to show is Gunnestad, who's got there. Carlson is trying to tuck in behind him. Tatum on the outside. They both go past Dano with great ease, but it's Gunnestad who's got the lead. Lars Gunnestad from Norway, who really drove from the start. There's no question whatsoever about that. And with 1 lap gone, it's Calvin Tatum who tries in hot pursuit to catch him. But Gunnestad leads. Tatum second, Mikael Karlsson third, Stefan Dano fourth in that order. Gunnestad realised before this race this was going to be a very, very difficult one for him. But he really has rode superbly well in this one. 2-2 so far on 4 points, and looking for his first win of the night here in Kumla. And there's not very many meetings that Lars Gunnestad doesn't get a win for Kumla's cause on his home circuit. We're on the final lap of heat number 9, and Lars Gunnestad looks set for 3 points as he goes down the back straight for the final time. Still Tatum second, Karlsson third, but it's going to be Gunnestad that gets the win, gets those all wheels in line, lifts the front one, and it's Gunnestad who gets there. Tatum second, Karlsson third, so 3-all. We take another look as the tapes rise on this one. And Gunnestad from trap 1 really makes a superb start and was some 2 or 3 yards in front, or meters in front of Mikael Karlsson. Stefan Dano at that moment in time was looking set to come and join, but just look at the Mariestad riders, one side and one the other, come through to take minor positions. We move on to heat number 10, which sees John Cook in red, Magnus Oscarsson blue, Peter Carlsson in white, so far unbeaten on 6 points. There he's in gate number 1, and Niklas Klingberg in yellow and black. So it's 30 plays 24, still 6 points between the two sides, no tax subs in this one. Starting Marshall calling into the line, Peter Carlsson so far unbeaten on 6 points. John Cook, winner, very convincing winner of heat number 2, but then throwing a last in heat number 6, which was a little bit of a surprise to say the least. This, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is heat number 10. Up go the tapes, those engines roar, and Carlsson yet again has got there. Has Cook got the drive around the outside? No, he hasn't. Carlsson's got the drop down the back straight. Cook looks over his shoulder, just very nearly goes across the path of Magnus Oscarsson, loses control, which is just a little bit of a surprise for John Cook. But Klingberg now comes through to try and challenge for third position. So it's Carlsson leads for Mariestad. Second place, John Cook, who's getting closer to Carlsson in third position, where the battle also lies between Magnus Oscarsson and Niklas Klingberg. It's just Klingberg at the moment. So it's 2 laps gone. It's looking set for Mariestad to reduce the arrears in heat 10. Carlsson looking very, very smooth and fast tonight. He leads from John Cook now on the inside line. Carlsson leads, but he knows Cook is behind him. We're on the final lap, and now we've got, I think, left his show for us. Carlsson leads. Cook, number 3, on his back, trying desperately hard to make up ground. But Carlsson's so fast, so tidy. Coming around the final 2 bends of heat 10 for his 3rd win of the night. It's Peter Carlsson who gets there. Second place is John Cook, and Niklas Klingberg getting his 1st point of the night in 3rd position. So a 4-2 heat advantage to Mariestad. That now reduces the arrears to just 4 points. It's Kumla 32, Mariestad 28, and Peter Carlsson getting his 3rd win of the night with a very classy ride in heat number 10. We'll take another look at Carlsson there in action in white. At this moment, Cook was trying everything he knew, the outside, the inside, made up tremendous ground on the bends, but Carlson had such a faster machine than him, it was unbelievable. Look at Cook's leg come off to try and get the maximum amount of traction. Great ride though from Peter Carlson to get the 3 points in heat number 2. Riders come to the line for heat number 11, which sees Henrik Gustafsson ride in red. His partner is Bo Peterson in blue. Lars Hammenberg rides in white, and Christer Rolén rides in yellow and black. 4 points between the two sides, Kumla 32 and Mariestad at 28, and this is heat number 11. So Gustafsson having not a good night by his standards, 2 points from his first outing and failing to score first time out, from his second outing 2 points rather, and in failing to score from his first outing, which is, well, we should be very surprised if Henke doesn't get a win throughout the course of the evening. He's on the favourable inside kick. Let's see if he can get a good start in heat number 11. Up they go, and Gustafsson gets a good drop. Rolén tries to lean on him, fails to do so, so Gustafsson has got the drive. Christer Rolén in second position. Third place is Bo Peterson. But Henke Gustafsson, who will be one of the main reasons that Sweden will put challenge on all the other 3 nations in that World Team Cup final in 4 days' time here at Kumla. Current Swedish rider holding the track record here at Kumla of 65.8 seconds. So Henke in tremendous form again this season, capped of course by that World final appearance when in rather wet and treacherous conditions in Wrocław in Poland, he came back good to tie on 9 points with Tommy Knudsen of Denmark for joint 4th position. But looking very set in heat number 11 here in Kumla as we go on the final lap for 3 points, his first win of the night. Gustafsson, 0 first time, 2 second outing, and now going on to 3 in his third ride. So Gustafsson coming around the final 2 bends, straight to those wheels, looks over his shoulder, he gets the win. Second place goes to Christer Rolén in yellow and black, and Bo Peterson third in blue. So a 4-2 heat advantage to Kumla. They now extend that lead to 6 points again. It's Kumla 36, Mariestad 13. Heat number 12 is when the tax subs have now been brought in by Mariestad. Both Calvin Tatum and Mikael Carlson have been brought in to replace their reserves, which is Thomas Olsson. Of course, the injured Martin Linder would not have taken his place. So the 2 tax subs in heat number 12 against Tommy Lindgren red and Mikael Haglund in blue. So quite a tall order for the 2 Kumla riders who've so far got maximum points from their 2 rides in heats number 4 and 7. So 6 points between the 2 sides. This is heat number 12. Steiner Marshall just calling them a little bit closer. Up go the tapes, held for a long time, and Lindgren has got there with Tatum, but Tatum takes him out, and through comes Mikael Carlson. Mikael Carlson has come through to join him. Well, Tatum done the hard work by just taking the challenge of Tommy Lindgren out just a little bit wide, and Mikael Carlson with such an alert brain comes through the gap that was left. Well, a great mind, great talent, and what a great partnership from Mariestad in 1992. If there's anything you have to say about Mariestad, it's probably been the class of this pairing, the experience of Tatum and the youth of Carlson that has brought so many points to Mariestad. And it looks like heat number 12 is going to bring the scores very, very close indeed as we go into the final 3 races here in Kumla. And Calvin Tatum looking set. They go on to the final lap of heat 12, looking fairly set for a 5-1 heat advantage, barring any unforeseen accidents or the Fisher kiss of death. But Tatum taking the smooth outside line, leaving bags of room for his partner on the inside. Calvin Tatum gets the win. Second place his partner Mikael Carlson, Tommy Lindgren in third place. So the tax subs working in fine start. Let's take another look at that fabulous manoeuvre of Calvin Tatum and Mikael Carlson on the first turn. Tatum in white at this moment just goes out slightly wide. Lindgren has to go out as well. Just look at Carlson, sees the gap, the door's open, and the youngster, just 17 years of age, comes through the gap provided to follow his partner home for a fabulous 5-1 in heat number 12 and brings the scores very close indeed. What a fabulous ride by the 2 Mariestad riders. 37 now to Kumla, 35 to Mariestad, and that's all due to this pairing of Calvin Tatum and Mikael Carlson. Kumla on 37, Gustafsson 5, Peterson 3, Cook 5, Oskarsson 2, Gunnestad coming good now on 7, and their 2 reserves, Dano on 4 rather, their reserves, Lindgren 6 and Haglund on 5. Solid scoring from Kumla, and they're on 37 after heat number 12. We'll then take a look at the scoreboard of Mariestad, who have really got close by now, and we look forward to the final 3 heats. They're on 35, 2 points between them. Tatum in superb form on 10. Mikael Karlsson there doing the bulk of the score, he's on 8. Hammarberg failing to score. The Swedish Elite League Speedway round 14 tie between Kumla and Mariestad, and it's getting very, very close out there. Just 2 points between the two sides. After heat number 12, it's 37 to Kumla, 35 to Mariestad. We move on to heat 13, which is Magnus Oscarsson in red, Bo Peterson in blue, Lars Hammarberg in white, Niklas Klingberg in yellow and black. These riders are the ones that finish in 5th and 6th place on the scoreboard after heat number 11. So in heat number 14, it will be 3rd and 4th, and the best riders 1 and 2s in each score chart in heat number 50. That's the way it works in Sweden, and very well it does indeed. So Oscarsson red, Bo Peterson blue, Lars Hammarberg white, Niklas Klingberg in yellow and black. This is heat 13. Up with the tapes, the clutches dropped, those bikes speed in, and it is Oscarsson in red who's got there, but coming round the outside on the yellow and black is Niklas Klingberg. Klingberg now trying to make up a challenge on the outside. It's Oscarsson who leads. Lars Hammarberg and Klingberg all together trying to come between them. Bo Peterson at the back of the moment with 1 lap gone. Magnus Oscarsson leading. Niklas Klingberg second. Peterson now coming in the fray. And Oscarsson goes wide. And Klingberg finds the gap and goes through. Can his partner join him? Klingberg is through. Oscarsson second. Hammarberg in 3rd place. And this is a tremendous scrap between these riders. You could throw a blanket over all 4 of them. Klingberg leads. Lars Hammarberg, first meeting for 5 years now, comes through to 2nd place. Lars Hammarberg comes through to join his partner. He's got there in 2nd position. Can he hold on? We're on the final lap of heat number 13. Now comes back on him, Magnus Oscarsson. Lars Hammarberg, goes out wide and is taken wide, but now he's back on Bo Peterson. Just look at those 3 riders, all locked together around the final bends of heat 13. We know that Klingberg's got there, but having up the just look at it. Fabulous speedway in heat number 13. And poor old Lars Hammarberg, who's done all the early work, is left for dead and finishes in 4th place. Let's look at that fabulous manoeuvre when poor old Magnus Oscarsson goes out wide and the gap is filled immediately by Niklas Klingberg. What a fabulous manoeuvre by him. But then not finished. Through comes Lars Hammarberg to join him at the front. A great ride by he hasn't rode for 5 years. Comes back into the thick of things in a local derby between these 2 clubs. And at the end of it, has to end up with no points whatsoever for all that effort. As the result is 3 points apiece. 3 goes to Klingberg and 2 to Oscarsson and 1 to Peterson. But a fabulous ride in heat 13, which means there's still 2 points between the 2 sides. It's 40 to Kumla, 38 to Mariestad as we move on to heat 14, which is John Cook there in red. His partner in gate number 2 is Stefan Dano, Cook in gate 4. And for Mariestad, Christer Rolen rides in white, and Mikael Karlsson rides in yellow and black. So still Mariestad look for a heat advantage to try and draw level in this one. Cook, very exciting, very positive. Can he do something to prevent that in heat number 14? Speed from the tapes, and yellow and black Mikael Karlsson has got there. What a tremendous ride from him. Cook in 2nd place, Stefan Dano 3rd, and Christer Rolen at this moment back in 4th position, which is not good news for Mariestad's cause. And look at blue, which is Stefan Dano trying to make a challenge now on Mikael Karlsson. Karlsson's well aware of the situation. Karlsson leads, Stefan Dano 2nd, John Cook 3rd in that order. Cook now taking the inside line on Dano, but really it's Mikael Karlsson they ought to be fighting after. Back in 4th place is still Christer Rolen, which means at this moment in time it's a 3-all, which will still give Kumla the slight advantage as we go into the final heat. Stefan Dano and John Cook seem to be having their separate little battle. Final lap, heat 14. Mikael Karlsson unaware of what's going on behind him. He leads. Can Christer Rolen just split the pairing? Quite a tall order because they're riding a good line. Coming out to take an easy win for him by his standards is Mikael Karlsson who gets there, but the 2 home riders of John Cook and Stefan Dano managing to hold Christer Rolen at bay. Take another look at the start of this one with 2 riders going into that turn, and just look at Christer Rolen lifted terribly out of the start, which lost him a tremendous amount of ground. But Mikael Karlsson, a fabulous start by him. He gets 1st place out of gate bend number 2. And really, from that moment onward, the 3 points was his. 43 to Kumla, 41 to Mariestad, and the script writers just couldn't have got this one any better. Mariestad may be league champions, but they still want to win this one as we go into the final heat, which is the best 4 riders on the night. Lars Gunnestad, red. Henrik Gustafsson in blue. Peter Carlson, so far unbeaten, in white. Calvin Tatum, yellow and black. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Screen Sport always brings the best to your screens in speedway terms. And this one looks to be, in the words of CF, a real cracker. Something's got to give in the next 4 laps. Up go the tapes, the engines roar. Mariestad want a heat advantage to draw. Gustafsson, though, takes an early lead. Tatum and Peter Carlson, second and third respectively. But it's Kengo Gustafsson who's got there. Can Tatum make the challenge? Gustafsson blue, Tatum in yellow and black. 1 lap gone. Peter Carlson now coming under pressure from Lars Gunnestad. Gunnestad on the outside, favourable line, has got the drop on Peter Carlson. Carlson back on him. Carlson on the inside. Gunnestad on the outside. Everybody's forgot that Henrik Gustafsson leads, and if he carries on and takes the flag, it will mean that Kumla have won this one. It's quite simple as we watch for the minor places. And what a minor placing it is. It's a great scrap between Peter Carlson and Lars Gunnestad. 1 more lap to go in heat number 15. Now it is Gustafsson, barring an accident, barring an engine failure, who's going to bring the 2 Swedish Elite League points to Kumla and will inflict Mariestad's second defeat in the Swedish Elite League. But it's Gustafsson that comes out to take the win. Second place goes to Calvin Tatum, and Peter Carlson, unbeaten before this ride, has to be content with 3rd place. Let's take another look as the old tapes rise on heat 15, and Gustafsson yet again from the very favourable inside line gets there with Tatum trying to go around the outside of him, but Gustafsson gets those hot wheels in line. Tatum goes out in the dirt, but from that moment onwards, really, it was Gustafsson's race. We now look at the battle for what became a tremendous battle for minor places. Gunnestad red, Peter Carlson in white. Gunnestad on the outside, Peter Carlson on the inside. Great scrap between these two, with just Carlson getting the nod on the line as we enter the final lap of that one. But it was a heat advantage, 3 points to Kumla, 3 to Mariestad, which means the scores on the board, 46 to Kumla plays 44 to Mariestad. As we say, the old helmets of all the boys from Mariestad, they end on 26 points in the Swedish Elite League title race. Congratulations to all the officials, the team manager, and of course the team who have done the biz in Sweden in 1992. There's no better reward than winning the Swedish Elite League title, and they've achieved that by dropping just two meetings throughout the course of the 14 rounds. They lost at Gotland by 46 points to 44, and they've also lost here at Kumla by the same margin. Kumla, Henrik Gustafsson 8, Bo Peterson 4, John Cook 7, Osselsson 4, Lars Gunnestad 7, Stefan Dano 5, and the 2 reserves really playing their part, Lindgren on 6 and Haglund on 5. Very solid scoring throughout, 46 points to Kumla. Mariestad relying very heavily on 3 riders, Calvin Tatum 12, Mikael Carlson 11, Lars Hammarberg, tremendous effort on his final ride, failing to score, Roland 5, Peter Carlson 10, Klingberg 4 and Olsen 2.
Well, it was a hard meeting. The league was already done. They was in the 1st place and we was in the 2nd place, but it was a hard meeting anyway because it's a bit local meeting this between Mariestad and Kumla, and I think all the boys in our team did a good meeting, and the track was not perfect, it was a bit too slick, so it was not so many good races, but I think it was quite good anyway.
You know, we started off with a stronger side and obviously a lot of potential in the team, and as the season's gone on we've got stronger and stronger, and I think after the summer break we believed that we could win it, and we've done it, you know, which is great.
Yes, Kelvin says it's a good team, like everybody can drop down to reserve, and we've got good riders at reserve all the time, and that helps us a lot as well, I think.
So congratulations there to Calvin Tatum and to Peter Carlson, both sponsored of course by good old Partex, and we hold our hats off to Mariestad, ladies and gentlemen, who are the Swedish Elite League champions of 1992.